Welcome. You're on the Fringe Show. I'm your host, Tatiana Zalan, and I go live on Fridays at 2 p.m. Dubai time. The Fringe is about our future of technology, art, and society. I help you to navigate the rapidly changing world so that you too can take advantage of the opportunities in this new space. It's episode 67, and the topic today is women in tech or women in Web3. And it's my greatest pleasure to welcome here Giovanna Melfi, my guest here. The Fringe is dedicated in March, is the whole month of March, to women in Web3 and women in tech more generally. And my guest today, as I said, is Giovanna Melfi. She is a change maker, serial entrepreneur with an impressive background in the luxury goods industry. And she has recently ventured into Web3 and the metaverse. So it's going to be a very exciting session. But before we go into it, welcome, Giovanna. Really, really happy to see you here.
Thank you.
Just
Thank
a
you,
little
Tatiana,
bit about Giovanna, and if Giovanna, I leave something out, please tell me. She's got impeccable qualifications, having both Bachelor of Science and Master of Science degree from Sapienza Università di Roma, and then a range of postgraduate diplomas and degrees in digital business, in particular from Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Sloan School of Management, Columbia Business School, and IMD, where she completed orchestrate winning performance, right? OWP. Giovanna, as I mentioned, worked a lot in the luxury brands industry, working for Ralph Lauren and Prada and Saint Laurent and Gucci and Burberry and Zegna and Jacobs, just about any luxury brand that you can think of. And after having completed her career, quite distinguished career in the luxury brands industry, she moved into her own consulting and recently founded two firms, one in Hong Kong, Metamorphosis, and the other one here in Dubai, Verba Communications. That's a pretty new venture. But Giovanna is also doing something very exciting in the metaverse, and I'm hoping to learn about it from her, right? So let's start.
Thank you to having me. Really, I'm super excited to be here and be with the audience of the Fringe.
Thank you. Well, what got you interested in Web3, Giovanna?
Oh, wow. I think maybe I have to go a little bit back, which I think is quite important because some people will understand. So I always been in my childhood kids that I was following very duly. My father, who was is a banker and he loved innovation. So he always bring me not only to sci-fi movies, but also to any kind of gadget that was coming out in market, he would have purchased. So I was, since then, super interested in innovation. And then, of course, this one brought me to several purchases in my life, including 2003, my first Air Mac. So I was affiliate and fanatic of Apple. And moving forward is going like up to 2010, when I joined Burberry in Southeast Asia as a head of retail. And the journey of Burberry was just the right time to create the first pioneering e-commerce, global e-commerce. And that one allowed me to really understand how really technology was evolving from Web 1, just to be a directory on internet, to Web 2, e-commerce business. And then make me think about how technology would evolve. And going further, I arrived in 2018 when a friend brought me to the first blockchain course. I didn't even understand what blockchain was. And then I understood that the technology would go so fast. And if I want to be up with times, I have to just pick up myself learning and keep going. And this is what is bringing me here today.
Well, wonderful. That's quite a story, Giovanna. And why do you think there are so few women in Web3 and in technology generally? And actually today I was just I received kind of an invitation from LinkedIn to join into a conversation about why is it so hard for women to get funding in tech, right? So what has been your experience, and what do you think, why there are so few women?
Well, it's actually a topic very close to my heart, because I've been in diversity and inclusion and women empowerment for the past 10 years. And I can tell you, coming from other industry perspective, technology has always been the last resort in terms of diversity and inclusion. So in terms of how many is the ratio between men and women, definitely less and less. And that one is only for a reason. Firstly, we have a critical change of culture with women, where women, they are very, very good in mathematics, despite what everybody says. We are very good in technology, but we give ourselves priority to other things in our life. So instead of we focus only on work, we also focus on family, not only our original family, but also our future family. So these kind of decisions doesn't help us to really come in a work environment like technology, which is basically 24/7. You don't really have 9 to 5 kind of schedule. I can tell you, I'm working globally around the globe. So from the Pacific coast of the US to Singapore, Hong Kong, China, Japan, Australia. So you are really on the go on timing. But on the other side, I feel that the culture is changing. And I'm very pleased to say that we have two types of women. One is the women developers, so the really technical women. And I feel that there is a new generation coming, despite it's small, but it's getting bigger by the year. And the second one is the women that we call it marketers, so marketing founders, CFO, and also it's getting bigger there, because a lot of women that they already maybe already in some sort of position, like me. I was an executive in luxury brands, and then I moved to tech. Despite I decided it was my decision, but I feel that there are many like me that they decided to be consultant or to get out of corporate to find much more inspiration out there. And I think Web3 is extremely inspiring, in particular in some topics like NFT, metaverse, even crypto for women bankers. Crypto is pretty interesting. Decentralized finance, and then gaming. Gaming is booming. So I'm very confident of the future.
Wonderful. So talking about the metaverse, please tell us what you're doing in the metaverse. You're working on a very, very interesting project.
Okay, so wow, that one has been a big one. So firstly, I decided to approach the metaverse because there was one topic where me and my friend Zoe West in London, and also my business partner, we were so focused about. We are both two lovely women, over 40, I want to say. We are still single, and we are still looking for Prince Charming. And we cannot find it. Because unfortunately, the app, the applications, the app that you have today, dating app, they are not anymore conducive for the way to interact with each other. And I think also this one has been quite drastically changed by the pandemic times. But let's say that we're laughing a lot between swap right and swap left, if you like and if you don't like. So we done quite a lot of research in the past year, and we wanted to do something different. We wanted to create a different dating experience, a different in a way that people feel more comfortable to meet each other. And this one doesn't matter who you're looking for. You're looking for love, you're looking for a lover, you're looking for an initial conversation, your best friend, maybe tomorrow can become your lover in your life. We are very open on that. So we decided why we don't use the metaverse, so people can be transform themselves in something else. Can be a design, an avatar. So some people doesn't feel very right in their own skin. So I think that metaverse is definitely a great opportunity. Now, of course, there is some challenges. I'm sure that you know Tatiana pretty well. The challenges is that number one, metaverse is a new frontier in a really, in the real sense of the mind. And they are very small players. They are just some that they do in a pretty good job. And when I say a good job, is a meaning they create a space, an environment. They also sell in land. They also create a city within the city. And also this kind of environment is quite cool in a visual perspective. Because, for example, what I'm looking for to create a metaverse dating experience, which is look like your avatar, maybe look like another young woman or another type of person that is not really you, is someone else, but it's look very real. So, and I think that if there is someone out there in the Fringe audience that they are familiar with movies from Steven Spielberg, like Ready Player One, where you have the binoculars and you are playing, as you recall, the characters, they were changing themselves. And I think this one is very nice. There is just slightly the dark side, which I called, which is the security part. Now, I must admit that unfortunately, there is a lot of ignorance out there. There is a lot of unknown. People are scared of the unknown. So number one, there is a lot of negativity from the media, which I strongly suggest to take it with a pinch of salt, because not necessarily they are true and not necessarily they are for everybody. They are environments which are pretty safe and environment where you can be yourself. Especially a lot of brands, they are approaching on the fashion industry, they are approaching the metaverse. And I think this one, in my case, is even more important, because the security to be in an environment where you can express your feeling, your emotions, like in a dating a situation, is extremely important. So we are just to create a beta testing. So we're just at the beginning. And actually, we make it slightly change. So the company name is Date House, and our beta testing app is called datehousemap.com. And the metaverse experience will call Meta Love Feast.
Meta Love Feast. Wow, I love it.
And why we decide to do that? So at the beginning, we wanted to go directly to the metaverse. But then we realized that number one, we want to approach all population, everybody 18 plus and above. So to approach that, we need to also consider that some generation, they are more familiar with technology than others. And some, they have some sort of difficulties to integrate immediately with the computer, with the metaverse. So we decided to create an app, so a desktop and a mobile app, which is now in beta testing, as I mentioned. Please go and visit it, which is very simple. It's just we want everybody to share the dating stories. Any dating story that you had in your life, doesn't matter when you were 15, 16 or today, we are welcome to hear your story. We would like to know the details, because these details will also help us to validate the MVP that we are planning to do, which is creating a dating experience inside out the metaverse, so that everybody is going to have the experience together.
Yeah, well, that sounds really, really exciting. And can married people join just to have fun?
Of course. I mean,
Yeah.
we did quite a pretty, and we have quite a lot of reports actually, and quite deep reports. And we noticed that, for example, people is very disappointed by the dating app, and there is a huge drop, more than 40% every day almost. And so there is also a quite sad number, which is basically half of the population of the planet is single, and they are not intending to have any kind of long-term relationship, which I found pretty sad. But also, we find out that there are couples that they are having a very flat and platonic relationship of kindness and love, but not even go more to the deep like before. And some of them, they're pretty open. They're pretty open to looking for a lover or to looking for someone to talk to, different, maybe, someone that can give something different for them. So, and for this reason, we try as much as possible with baby steps to create a profile in different connotation. You can have a profile with your own picture, or you can have a profile with your NFT, or with your special design, artist design, or whatever. But we believe that there is a space for everybody, as much as we are really taking back our own emotions and love.
Yeah, that really sounds fascinating. I can't wait. So you're still in beta? Is this what
Beta
you're saying?
testing.
Okay. I see. Well,
hopefully we should be in September launching the metaverse, but cross fingers.
Fingers crossed. Yes, I will be waiting, and I will be watching this space, definitely. And now, can you probably tell us a little bit more about what you're doing in verbal communications, but also in metamorphosis, which you're running at the same time?
Yeah, so as you so kindly said, I worked for 20 years in luxury brands, where I was an executive in retail and also in business unit across Europe and Asia Pacific. And I decided at the beginning of 2016 to set up my own business. Basically, I want to take all my experience and give it back to society in a consulting firm that it would help companies, especially small and medium enterprise, but also startups, to have some sort of efficiency, productivity, and also international business that would allow their product or their services to go out of the domestic countries where they are based and going especially abroad internationally. So I set up Metamorphosis Bids in Hong Kong, and is an agency dedicated to business and digital transformation. And mainly when I started 2016, I was dedicated to Web2. Through the years, I moved in several sectors and several industries, and I developed several methodology, especially based on 3 pillars. I believe in financials and human being and technology. And all of 3 together can make a company very successful. And during just before the pandemic and then with the pandemic time, I shifted to another of 2 topics which are very close to my heart, which is strategy and governance. So it's not easy for companies to really have a strategy long term, but also quite difficult to have an internal governance of all departments and the company itself. Now, in the past few years, I've been working in Web3. So the pandemic shake up a little bit my business again, and I've been transforming myself again, and I moved to Web3. So I spent all 2022 around the globe running and supporting conferences and events in the Web3. I had the pleasure to meet amazing women, which I say hi. And I also thanks because I set up my lovely community called the Women's Circle. Mm-hmm. And it's a community of women in innovation and technology.
Which I'm part, thank you.
Which
thank
you are part, you've just been invited. I'm super happy that you have been on board with us. We're looking forward to create a lot of buzzing and maybe to have more women in Web3 for sure, and technology as well. And so I decided to move to Dubai last year, middle of last year. I was coming for a few meetings and events. And I saw the opportunity to really help the company in the Middle East with the brand communication. So a lot of people confuse communications more as a media tool instead of to understand that branding communication is extremely important and even come before you go into the media. So if a company doesn't have a very internal and external good communication of what is the purpose, what is the scope of the business, what they want to do, and what is the problem and what the solution want to be, it's going to be very difficult for them. So I'm helping them to have a clear voice, a clear tone, and make sure that their message is coming out neat and clean. And on the other side, I see a huge opportunity to run different type of events, from small gathering, from networking or small workshop activity, education, to big conferences and events. So I'm pleased that in last summer, I created the Women's Circle, where, I met so many women last year in Web3 that I wanted to put them all together, possibly in the same room or in the same group. So we have a Telegram chat, and we are also connected. And in particularly, we are empowering each other. We are supporting each other. And I think this one is already a good movement. And on the other side, verbal communications. So I create finally my agency in Dubai, actively globally, from Dubai to the world. And I've been launching Data House here. I've been very soon launching Meta Love Feast. And then most probably this one is very news. Most probably to be TBC a little bit, 7th and 8th of October 2023, we will have the first GameFi Summit in Dubai, where we will bring the best in the business in gaming and in sports. So I'm pretty excited because I've been playing video games and gaming since Spectrum and Commodore 64. That is like 1980, 1990. Oh my God, now I'm telling you how old I am. But I think that is extremely amazing. I'm super happy that me and my business partners, Franz Cavatorta, we will run this event. We're really very connected with all the world. Everybody wants to come to Dubai. Everybody wants to experience this event. So again, finger crossed, we're going to be there.
Yes, yeah. Well, Giovanna, you're doing so many things. Please tell us, how do you fit them in 24/7?
Look, I must admit, I was very lucky. I want to make a few suggestions, okay? The first one is, when I was at the beginning of my career, I was given the opportunity to attend two really essential courses that I think everybody should, actually three, that everybody should have. The first one is about time management. So really, time management is paramount for you to manage your life, but to manage everything else you do. Number two, negotiation skills. So when you're negotiating, it's super important to know how to negotiate and what to do. And number three is body language. So this is why also I'm in communications, because I can tell you, you can understand so much in the body language of people. So where they come from, the culture, and I'm sure everybody must understand by now where I come from, despite the accent. But I feel that these three courses, which I took around 29, 30 years old when I was, helped me a lot. And they give me so much opportunity also to really prioritize always my agendas and to always try to see what is important to be done now and something that can be done a little bit later. And I do quite a lot of stuff, it's true. And sometimes I even surprise myself, but it's pretty exciting. And I can say today, I'm half of the way of my life, and I can tell you that I'm very happy. I done everything I wanted to do, so I don't have regret, which I don't think many people who can say the same, but it's okay.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So if you want to have some pieces of advice or maybe a few tips for women who want to be in the space, well, how do they enter the space? Do you have any suggestions?
Absolutely. Okay. Firstly, for some of you, well, everybody is welcome to find me in LinkedIn. I'm pretty active as much as you are, Tatiana. So please find me. One thing that you may notice immediately from my LinkedIn profile and my career path is that I never stop learning. And I'm very open-minded. and I'm extremely curious. And this one I have to thank definitely my parents, so that they always push me to learn, and they always told me to be observant and see what is around my life and myself. And so my first advice also is please find a course, no matter how small, no matter how big, but just find a small course, take an hour a week, reading the news, looking at video in YouTube, learn. Some people doesn't understand when they told me, oh, Giovanna, I don't like web3, I don't like technology. I feel a bit sorry for them, because to be honest with you, the technology is here to stay and forever. It's not going to go away. So that the fact that you are pushing away, it doesn't going to help you. It's not going to help you at all. Please understand that we are surrounded by technology, and it's going to be just more and more. It's not going to be less. So it's just the way that you're using it. And that one is a piece of advice I give. The way you're using it has to be appropriate. So I'm not abusing technology. I'm using to make my life better, to make my work environment better, to have a better time management so that I can do so many things. That's for sure. And this is why I use all the technology. But on the other hand, I'm quite spiritual. I do a lot of things with nature. I invest in sustainability because I believe in the planet. I believe in what is going on. We need to save our planet. But what I'm saying is, number one, education. Number two, if you have around yourself like a talk or a conference or an event, especially if it's free, sign up, go there, even only half an hour to listen what they say. But when you go there, keep your mind open, because if you go there just to judge, it's never going to happen. You're not going to get anything positive out of it. So you're just wasting your time. But if you're going to go there, stay positive, open your mind, and look at the positivity of technology and innovation can give us to our life all, and especially for us as a women. And also another point, which I would just say, I was a recruiter and I was HR in my old life in a corporate. And I can tell you, if you don't upgrade yourself, you're going to be out of the market. And it's nothing to do with AI. It's about you. So, don't blame technology. Blame yourself, because as a human, we are must needed. As a human, we need to know how to manage technology. And if you want to stay and retain your job in the long term, you need to educate yourself. There is no way you can get away with that.
Great. As an educator, I'm all for it and absolutely subscribe to it.
I knew that you will be happy with that.
Yeah. Giovanna, and where people can find you? You said you're on LinkedIn. Anywhere else that they can find you?
Wow. Okay, everybody. I'm in LinkedIn, Twitter, Telegram, Instagram, Discord. You're most welcome to come anytime. What I would like to suggest, please give me your password. Tell me, hey, I'm an audience of the Fringe and I'm a friend of Tatiana, so that I can accept your connection. And I will be super happy to help you or to connect with you and follow up. I will be very happy. Thank you. And the same, Metamorphosis Beads is everywhere. LinkedIn, Twitter, we are there. Verba Communication is in Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and very soon in Discord. And by the way, follow Verba Communications in Twitter, because soon, hopefully also with Tatiana, who's going to join us, we will launching a Twitter space free of charge. You just join in for education in tech, so EduTech program, where we're going to start in March talking about crypto lingo. So sometimes what you hear or what you listen or what you reading in the media is a strange lingo. So do you want to know better the terminology? We're going to help you with that. So join us.
Wonderful. And on that very positive note, I think we'll let you go, Giovanna, because your hands are full, just like mine. Thank you so much. And just again, an invitation to everyone to join, to find Giovanna, find the Fringe, find me on LinkedIn as well. And yeah, we are really embracing women in tech. Please welcome.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you. Thank you, Tatiana. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for having me. Take care. Thank you.
Take care.